Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Amber. Today we are gonna be doing a serious talk, which is kind of really weird considering I am wearing my Halloween outfit. Because I'm not gonna say costume because I'm not actually wearing a full costume as you can see, but I'm definitely in the vibe with Halloween. So anyways, let's get to the point here, Amber. Today we're going to be having a conversation, chat about the time that I went missing. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Come on. You know. Come on. It's the one right down there, the red button. Subscribe right now. No, but seriously, guys, if you did, that would make me so happy. And hit that thumbs up button if you really liked it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory to this story is that when I was 17 years old, I met a boy, and he was bad news, just bad news. And if I had my daughter meet this guy, I would be so unhappy, and I would just be like, no. But at the same time, I feel like everything that I've learned from this situation, maybe I wouldn't be like that. And here's why. He was horrible news. My parents were really strict growing up. They raised me as a Christian, and I have nothing bad to say about Christianity at all. But they were very strict, and they were very overprotective and very cautious of anything that I did that everybody else could do. Basically, even just like walking across the street, and when I was 17, I had to have somebody walk me across the street. Yes, it sounds a little bit like I'm making this up, but it is actually very true, and I felt very suffocated, and I felt like I didn't have any freedom, and I felt like I just was being treated so like a little child, and I felt like I was coming to that stage in my life where I just felt like I'm growing up and nobody is treating me like that, and it was just really upsetting to me. And my parents and I had a lot of differences in the things that I thought were okay and what they thought were okay, and I was rebelling a lot. But even though I was rebelling, I feel like parts of me were just frustrated because I didn't feel like I was getting the trust that I deserved. And I felt like my parents, like if they would have really stopped and just looked at me, they would have known that they should have trusted me a lot more for the smaller things, like going to my friend's house, walking across the street, you know, just every single day things that teenagers do. And anyways, so this is what happened. I was going out with a boy that they did not like at all, for good reason. But what happened was we ended up splitting apart, and my parents forbid me from seeing him ever again in a dating way. He did go to the same high school as me, so that made it difficult. So one night I was at work, and I get a phone call, and it's my ex, and he's like, I miss you, I want to see you. And I had plans to go with a friend to her youth group, but I canceled with my friend, and I didn't tell my parents that, so that I could go with my ex and just see him, spend time with him without them knowing. I thought it was like a foolproof plan. And what ended up happening was I was waiting outside after work, and somebody else pulls up and says like, hey, like I'm gonna use a different name, Alex's friend, and you know, like come into the car, I'm gonna bring you to Alex. So I was like, okay, this is not really what I expected, but I guess that's fine. Like, sure, I'll come with you. We'll go see Alex, and then you can get lost. I don't want to see you. I want to see Alex. So I went with Alex's friend. We went and waited. We just parked and waited for Alex because Alex was busy. I don't know where he was. We were just talking. It was awkward. Like, I didn't know who this guy was, but it was Alex's friend, so I was like, whatever, I'll just talk to him and wait for Alex. And all of a sudden, I just, like, I'm like thinking, okay, like how long have I been talking to Alex's friend? Because we've been just talking and I've been waiting and talking, and I realized that it is past the time that I'm supposed to go home. And I have just this sheer panic, like this just sheer panic flood in my body, and I just feel like this sinking feeling in my chest, in my gut. I just feel like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm screwed. My parents are gonna literally kill me. Like, not just pretending, like, they're not gonna just get a little bit angry at me. Like, they're gonna literally kill me. And I am just absolutely terrified because I don't know what to do. For me, it was really difficult because I knew that, like, if I didn't go back sooner than later, it would be worse. But I knew that if I did go back, my parents would be waiting and they would be so furious with me. I just had such fear and anxiety, and I just felt so worried because I knew how strict my parents were, and I also knew that my father tended to have like a pretty big temper. When he was mad, he would be scary, right? Like, I mean, he would scare me when he was mad, and I definitely had like a lot of fear about confronting him and confronting my mom, just because with my mom, she was more like emotional, and she would be more like upset in like a crying way, and like, how could you do this? Like, you're breaking my heart and stuff like that. And I really just was so afraid. Like, that's all I can say. Like, afraid is the only thing that really comes into my head. Being out all night, I was just so terrified to go home. I went to my best friend's house. I told her what happened. I told her, like, I needed somewhere to stay, and I found out that my parents found out where I was because I called my work and explained to them that I couldn't come in for the shift that I had that day, and they figured out where I was because of the number that showed up on their screen, and they had called the police. The police were involved, and they were going to put out a missing persons for me. And I was just like, how is this all happening? Like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening to me? Like, I just wanted to go. I just wanted to see my ex. I really cared about him, and this just went from like something so innocent to like, now I'm a missing person. My parents think that I ran away. They think that I don't love them. They think that I don't care about them. My siblings think that I'm just like this horrible, awful, disgusting person that doesn't love them, that doesn't love my family. It was literally the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I never ever wanted to run away. It was never my intention to like run away from my home, and basically something so small just like went into such a big thing. And I just really learned that, you know, as a parent, we're gonna be really, really, really scared for our kids when they do things that we really are against. But it's not okay for us to be so strict on our children, or to be so afraid for our children that we basically trap them in a corner to cause them to just lie or have secrets and rebel. And my parents always tried, especially my mom, for me to be open with her and talk to her, but there was just certain things that I really felt like I couldn't talk to her about because of the way she felt about certain things. So basically, guys, if there's anything I can say to you as like a kid who still lives at home, or if you're a mother and you are a parent and you're dealing with your children, is make sure that you really you don't overprotect your children to the point where they feel like they have to lie. They feel like they can't talk to you. They feel like there's certain things that are just totally off limits that they have absolutely nowhere to turn to talk about. I love my parents a lot, but they are human and they have made mistakes, and this is something that really did affect me, and I know it affected them for their own personal reasons. And yeah, this is my story, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, if you thought this video was interesting, hit that subscribe button down below, right there, and give it a big thumbs up if you really did enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Bye.